This podcast discusses video games, modern culture, and technology, and these podcasters are big fat potty mouths. If you're younger than 18 or are easily offended, please stop this podcast now. Oh, and your mom says to take out the trash and do your homework.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to GameHounds. Whoa, I just totally distorted there. Welcome to GameHounds. It is episode 244. We are recording on Wednesday, January 8th, 2014. I'm Edie Sellers. With me is Holy Goalie.
Hello.
And Nick DiNicola.
Yep.
Bring in the energy.
Are you guys warm? I hope you guys are warm because I am freezing.
Oh my God, you poor thing. What is it? I saw yesterday it was like minus 10.
Yeah, no, check this out. So last week, what did we record on Wednesday, right? So the next day, Thursday, they said, okay, we got 12 inches of snow coming into our area, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're sitting there watching it, and they ended up canceling the Friday morning league. So I've had so much snow over here. I haven't worked in 3 weeks just because of all the cancellations with snow and holidays.
Wow.
Yeah, literally. December 21st was like the last day I really worked up until this week. It just was just ridiculous. The whole week of Christmas, the whole week of New Year's was snow and holidays, but what, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, so last Thursday, which was the right after the holiday, the second, I believe it was, they said, okay, you're going to get 12 inches of snow. We can handle 12 inches of snow. It's really not that big of a deal, right? All of a sudden, they say, by the way, there's a little pocket just north of Boston that's already been socked with 12 inches of snow. And yeah, the 12 inches we talked about is not coming down till overnight. So we got 12 inches on top of the 12 inches. So I smoked 2 joints before I smoked 2 joints, and then I smoked 2 more, is how the song goes. So yeah, so we got 2 feet of snow in our area, and every map says jackpot. There's a little area called the jackpot. Everybody got 12. We got 24. We were in the jackpot, so we got nailed with snow. Luckily, though, 2 days later, it got up to almost 60 degrees, so it melted a considerable amount of the snow. But then, yeah, last night was in the negatives. It's like, oh, my gosh. It is just, all I've been doing is like, just the Keurig is going nonstop, just pumping out hot coffee and cocoa for us because it's just been so cold.
Oh, my God.
So cold. We have a garage attached to our house, okay? It's not a heated garage, but it's attached to the house. And usually in the wintertime, the garage will be in the 40s, which is good enough to melt snow off the car. So we'll alternate. So we'll bring in the truck, let it melt, and then we'll bring in the car and let it melt. The snow blows. So we bring in that to defrost and dethaw the vehicles, right? And whoever's going out in the morning first gets the garage. It just keeps it nice and warm.
Right.
It has been so cold. The garage is in the 20s. So the garage is 15 to 20 degrees colder than it usually is. I brought in the snowblower covered in ice after snow blowing, and it was still covered in ice because even the garage wouldn't warm up. That's how cold it's been. It's just everything is just frigid.
Oh.
Yeah.
I saw it, well, I've got family up in Minnesota, up in Minneapolis.
Yeah, we got listeners and people on Twitter up in that area, Minnesota and Iowa and stuff, and they're saying, geez,
it's like 50 below.
Yeah,
with the wind chill. It's like 25 or 30 below without wind chill. So they're up there, and I was watching a news report of somebody up there that they took a one of those cast iron pans and they put it down on the ground and they broke an egg into it and it froze solid in 3 minutes. Faster than you could fry the egg, it froze solid.
Have you ever seen the video on YouTube? It was over in Russia. And it was like minus 50 out, and they took a boiling pot of water.
Oh, they've been doing that. Oh, they've been doing that in Canada. Have you seen the one with the super soaker? A guy took a super soaker full of boiling water.
Super soaker, yeah.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
one.
where he just is shooting snow out of the super soaker, and you shows him pouring the boiling water in the super soaker, and he goes from boiling to frozen in less than in a microsecond.
This guy out in Russia was like in the 13th floor, and he threw the boiling water out off the top balcony of this apartment complex. Yeah, it was I think it just exploded.
Yeah.
Because it went from 212 degrees or whatever
Right.
boiling is to minus 70. So that's a 300-degree swing in seconds. You know.
Yeah. The death count, I guess, is at 21 people so far from your polar vortex.
I know that's a new catchphrase. Huh?
Some old woman, I guess. I want to say it was in Wisconsin. They found her dead in the street. She had walked out the house to go get her mail, and because she was old, she walked slow. So she walked out of the house to get her mail and never made it back to the front door and froze to death.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yep, because she didn't figure, she put on a light jacket. She was just going out to the mail.
Yeah. It's just
But she's older, so she's on her walker and going along on her walker, and all of a sudden she starts to freeze, and there's nobody watching her because nobody saw it.
Yeah.
Came out the next morning, and there she is, frozen solid between her front door and her mailbox.
Oh boy, yeah. They had a big announcement over here, and like, make sure you check on your elderly neighbors in this cold. And I've already got 3 knocks at my door.
But they think you're the elderly neighbor. Go away! Get off my lawn!
It's not funny anymore.
But being inside around all the time gives you lots of opportunities to play games.
Yes, that's all I did. It's like it was too cold to walk the dog. I didn't feel like going out in the cold to the gym. I did a little bit of exercise here on the machine that we got here, which is fun, and watch some Netflix. But that's all I've done is play games. In fact, we air quotes the GameHounds finally get together and played something all together.
All together.
Yep.
All together now.
Diablo.
3. Yep. And we had a fun time. Actually, there's 3 of us. And I think Mrs. Goalie jumped in, and Shadow Guy jumped in, and somebody else jumped in. That's what's great about that game, just to drop in, drop out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I started playing it, and I started a whole brand new character. We both did because we had to, because Nick was starting from 0. We certainly couldn't bring our gigantic characters into there. So he started at 0. We started playing, and I ended up playing that game for about 15 hours straight because, Nick, you left to go have dinner. And then I started having connection issues because Kevin was uploading a really big file to work.
I remember that, yeah.
So I dropped my connection, my internet dropped at like 7:30, 8 o'clock. So I was offline, and and the joy of the 360, I was offline, and I was playing Diablo and didn't even notice that you guys weren't even there until I saw that I wasn't signed in anymore. I happened to look for you. Yeah. Seamless drop in. It did not need the internet connection. It seamlessly went from being connected to the internet to not being connected to the internet. And it was great. I played the crap out of that game. Again.
You guys did. Nick went to dinner. You had the internet. Mrs. Goldie went to bed. Shadow Guy was having issues connecting too. And so right before I signed off, some of my other friends jumped on. And they appear. You can see them come on the Xbox, and they started playing Diablo.
Yeah,
it was
Diablo night.
And these are people that have PS4s,
right, as
well. So all of a sudden, it's like, holy cow, this must be Diablo night. So I jumped into their game, and I'm like, is there somebody in here with us? It's like, what are you guys playing Diablo? I don't know. We just want to start some new characters. This is hilarious. I says, I was just playing Diablo with some other friends, and you guys come on. And it's just pretty funny how all of a sudden everybody played Diablo that night.
And it's a fun game. But Nick, it's a great game.
Nick, we want Nick's thoughts, because this is the first time he played it on the Xbox.
Yes. Well, this is the first time I've played Diablo 3, period.
Right. And it's the first time pretty much that you've played an MMO. Because that's what this is.
Diablo's not really an MMO.
It's not an MMO in the fact that you don't have big cities where everybody converges, or you don't have a chance of running across another party. But in every other way, all other structures, it is an MMO.
Yeah, but see, that just makes it seem like it's an MO.
It's an MO.
Online game.
Yes, it's an MO.
But without the massive...
It's an SMO, small multiplayer online. It's a schmo.
Good way to put it.
Schmo. So,
but I really enjoyed it.
It is.
I enjoy the controls. I enjoy the kind of I don't want to say like to say mindlessness of it makes it sound bad, but there's like a just kind of rhythm you get into.
It's smooth and simplistic.
Yeah, you just kind of go around, you kill stuff, and you go around, and you just kind of want to keep killing stuff. Like there was a moment when we were in this big open field, and we kind of curved our way over on the left side all the way to the top, and then you were just following me, so I just kind of kept going to the right so that we would circle all the way back to the beginning again, hoping you didn't notice that we were... Because I just wanted to go through the whole area and kill everything before continuing.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to just continue. I just want to kill everything.
Kill stuff. Exactly. And yeah, and if I have one complaint about Diablo that I, at least on the console, I don't know if it's like this on the PC, but I wish that it was a little more reliant upon group tactics. That's something that's very much missing.
I don't know, because I tried playing by myself, and maybe it was because we were playing on hard, but it was hard.
It's hard if you play it by yourself. But
God damn.
When you get into levels where you have to balance your group, where you have to play in a certain way, like if your caster is sitting out in front or initiating an attack on something, yeah, your caster's gone. It's instant death for the entire team. That you could wipe a team by somebody doing something wrong. That's actually it sounds terrible, kind of fun. So, essentially playing a certain way depending on what kind of class you are. So I like to run in and hit stuff. Well, if you like to run in and hit stuff, you be the barbarian. You go and go do that because that's what you need to do. And that there's requires a lot of communication so that if your caster is saying, oh, I'm getting hit, so that the tank will disengage from whatever it's hitting right now and go hit the other thing so it will gain aggro and pull it onto him so that the healer can sit and just chain heal the tank while the casters are doing AoEs and trying to knock everything down. It becomes very much more coordinated and organized, and it's not hard, but it's super fun because when you succeed, it's a real achievement. When you get through, like you did, like we did when we were playing, you get through a big battle with just a ton of enemies, and then you're done, and it's just all this crap and loot on the ground, and then you collect it up. I'm like, whew, that was intense. That feeling. Such a good feeling.
And there's one thing I'm wondering. Is there a limit on inventory space?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
But how big is it? Because, we were finding loot, and I was picking up every piece of loot I could see, and I wasn't filling up my inventory.
That's because you're early stages.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's like turning a lobster pot
get...
up to boil slowly. It's like you think, oh, I got lots of space, and then right about level 12 or 13, you realize, oh, fuck, I got to go into town and sell.
Two things is you either go to the guy and sell all the junk, and that's how you get money. Or you have a stash. You have a place to go and put all your stuff. So if you get something you think you might use later on, you can go put it in your stash.
Yeah, you definitely put in your stash all epic weapons and all legendary weapons. All yellows and all oranges. I definitely put those in there and leave them there because if you ever start another character, oh my god, it makes such a difference.
Yeah, start another character.
You start another character.
I got a legendary bow. I mean, not legendary. I got a yellow bow, and then I quickly realized I'm not going to use this, and so I smithed it.
Well, at least you salvaged it, right? But you could
salvage.
Yeah, but you could have put it into that chest in town. That has slots that are like the locker in Borderlands. That you just put it there and it can, but it's all the slots are transferable to all characters. So there's quite a few in there, but you will run out of space in there eventually, and then you will need to buy more slots, which you will buy with cash.
Like real cash or gold?
Gold.
Okay.
And
what was cool
it's
about
great
playing with a whole bunch of people, and I got to see every class, or most of them. I really want to start over as the
Witch Doctor.
Oh,
because those
fun.
minions were so cool.
Yeah, It's
the
pretty fun.
dogs
And the
and
frogs.
what was it? Bees?
Frogs.
No, frogs. Yeah.
See the
Dogs,
dogs,
frogs.
frogs. I have a
ants.
zombie now. I can send a zombie out.
Oh, okay, that's it. I'm starting over. That's hands down. No contest.
It is pretty fun. I have never played the Witch Doctor before. I've only played Wizard. So when you chose Wizard, I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll play something else.
But the one downside, the one thing that kind of really bugs me
Yeah.
about the game is that, like, the weapon that you equip doesn't change your attack, or the weapon you equip, there's no animation change of attack. It's just a stat change of how much damage you're doing.
Right.
And
Well, also because you're a wizard, wizards don't use swords. So if
Okay,
you were...
so does that change, like, if you're like a barbarian and you have a sword versus an axe, does it change, like, how
I don't
it
know.
looks?
Goalie?
Ooh, no, what do you mean now? What was he
He
doing?
was reading something. Oh, gotcha. Busted.
No. I was trying to. So the wizard, the wizard doesn't use stuff, but is there an animation when you switch weapons? No, because you're in your menu.
No, but like, because like you can equip spears and you can equip swords. So like, when you're in the game and you're pressing A to attack, is there like a difference in like how the guy swings? Like, does he stab with the spear versus slashing?
Absolutely, yeah. Because when you got the one guy that shoots the arrows, he aims and the arrows come out. When you're the wizard, you're throwing fireballs, and when you're with the barbarian, you're spinning around with the axe. Oh yeah, there's different animations.
Yeah, but I'm thinking just within a single class when you switch weapons, like not from class to class.
Like, say that you're a barbarian and you have a sword, and then you switch to an axe. Will it actually change the animation?
That I don't know.
I don't. Yeah, I
Just-
don't
just
think
'cause,
so.
There's kind of a satisfaction of getting a new weapon and just seeing it in your guy's hand and seeing it swing, and it's like,
Well,
don't
there's different
quite get
things.
that
Like, if you're the
satisfaction.
barbarian, though, I mean, you can do like the earthquake, so it's a big stomp, and then you got the rend, which you spin around and you see the blood coming out of the people. So there's all different animations.
yeah, and that's the
Huh.
thing is that they all have those special moves.
Yeah, and those are. It's just a really fun game, and I'm not surprised that you enjoyed it, especially now that I see how much you're enjoying
Warframe.
Frame. Thank you. Ugh, I kept on wanting to say Warhammer, Warframe. Yeah, now that you're enjoying Warframe, now that you're enjoying Diablo, we're slowly moving you in the way of actually trying an MMO, which will be probably Elder Scrolls Online.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I think so too. Like very, very obviously.
Yep.
Because and also, I've played a lot of Path of Exile, which is the Diablo clone.
How do you like that?
I really like that, and it's interesting trying to compare it because, why I asked about inventory space is because your inventory in Path of Exile is pretty tiny. So, like right from the beginning, I'm leaving all this loot on the ground, and it's like, oh man, I'm like leaving gold on the ground, like all this money on the ground, it's just left. But also in Path of Exile, to teleport back to your town, you need what's called a portal scroll. So you need to find those scrolls.
Oh, it's not automatic.
Yeah, and so like when you said, "Oh yeah, you can teleport to town anytime," I was like, "Oh, this is amazing."
Yeah.
Anytime?
The Path of Exile I found to be okay, but it's just okay.
Yeah.
And I was talking to someone at the rink last night about the Elder Scrolls. He just picked up PlayStation 4, and he's all excited because me and him used to play Oblivion to all hours of the night. Like we get in a chat room and play our own Oblivion game. He's like, "How cool would that be, Dave? If we can finally do something together instead of just playing our own games,
Yeah. I'm it's funny how I'm a little bit bored with my PlayStation 4 right now, but I'm finding all of these other things to be kind of little things to be excited about.
Wait. You can't be bored, not with what came out last night.
No. Oh, thank God. Don't Starve is out. Oh, yes, and it's awesome.
I got to get that today. I gotta
It's
try it.
awesome. You're going to hate it, goalie, because you're going to die a lot. And the point is to not die, so it's not very forgiving. And it does not explain a lot of stuff at all. Unless you know how to play Don't Starve or ask someone how to play Don't Starve.
Don't play Don't Starve.
No, you should play it. You should play it because it's not that hard. I should say it's at the beginning it's sort of easy and fun, and then fucking things happen and shit goes down and you die. And
Chaos was playing last night. And before I left, he was he was walking around. Then all of a sudden, he's like, "What the hell was that? There was a tentacle on the other ground."
He walked into a bog.
Yep, and he was just like, "Oh, there's monster meat." He didn't die, which I was surprised at. But he's like, "Oh, monster meat on the ground." So he walked over, went to pick it up, and then all of a sudden, tentacle comes out of the ground, hits him. Half his health is gone, and he's like running like a crazy little kid. Like, what is going on?
Right. And like, that's kind of the fun is going in and finding out all the different ways that the world can kill you. Like, what's that sound? I don't know what that sound. What's that sound? Is that a... Oh my God, that's a dog! Run!
Oh boy.
That's the first time.
It's like, it's creating like a huge plan of like, okay, I'm going to get all this wood. I'm going to make planks. I'm going to make the house. I'm going to make this like little path through my house so that monsters can't come in. And I've got food stored up. And I've got a crock pot and a fire. And I'm like great for winter. I've got a coat. I'm going to survive. And then wolves come out of nowhere and chew you into pieces.
Ugh.
Like, what?
You have to know... Everything. Eventually you get to the point of knowing all the ways that the land can kill you and then making arrangements for those ways to not kill you, like where you place your camp. And then there's the ultimate way. Actually, that's where the beefalo is very handy. It's making your camp near beefalo. If the one thing that I cannot fucking kill is tree guardians. Oh, I hate those things. I've set forest fires that have burned down my entire camp to get away from those bastards. But the beefalo will kill them eventually, but it will leave this trail of beefalo meat across the entire area that you can't possibly cook fast enough. So you have to immediately make a drying rack and start drying beefalo meat because you're going to need that later, or making a beefalo hat, and making a meat effigy and stuff like that.
Yeah, I might try this.
You're gonna just recognize you're not gonna know how to play it. It's not gonna be self-evident. You're not gonna understand, and you need to ask questions. And I will be happy, and Nick and I will be happy to explain it.
Like a chat room with one of you guys and do it. Yeah, because I'm knowing me. Yeah, if I sit there and I'm flustered and I
don't understand, why is this thing killing me? Yes.
Like Minecraft, I couldn't figure out what the hell to do with Minecraft, and that was it. It just was. I tried it 2 or 3 times too. And I was like, I don't get it, And they assume a lot in these games. That was my problem with a lot of these games on PlayStation 4. That when I started to play, they assume that you know what the hell you're supposed to do.
Right.
Yeah, I've noticed that's like a trend in some indie games I've played too. Is that like there's this belief that this is what I think. I think it's this mistaken belief that if you don't explain the mechanics, then that leads to like a greater sense of discovery. Because like, I think this is the result of Dark Souls becoming popular. I think Dark Souls kind of did it right in some ways, but I think everyone learned the wrong lesson, because I think everyone looks at Dark Souls and says, oh, look, not explaining a goddamn thing makes people work really hard to get your game. And because they work hard, like when they do figure it out, they become evangelists for it. And they think like, oh, yeah, this is great, and I had to work really hard for this, and they become invested in it.
Yeah, I look the opposite. Like, I look at Killzone Shadowfall. I was completely lost in that game.
Oh, that's right. I still haven't tried that out.
I spent more time trying to figure out what to do and where to go, and that made the game just not fun.
Yeah, I don't think it's good. I think it's much better when a game explains what the hell it's about.
Grand Theft Auto 5, I got lost in that. And you guys were telling me, oh, well, no, this means this and this means that. But how the hell am I supposed to know if you don't tell me?
Mm-hmm.
And that was my frustration with that game, along with many other things, was just like, And then even Need for Speed Rivals. I drove around. That's what I did. I actually streamed that on Twitch one night, and someone sent me a text message that says, would you please stream a different game? This game is ridiculously boring. And so it wasn't just me. It's like I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go. It just was like, are you kidding me? You know? So I think the games assume that you're going to go investigate how to play them. But they used to ramp you up pretty good and give you a manual and just ease you into everything. And now it's so fast. They don't ease you in anymore. It's like, okay, hit this for this, hit this. There was one game that had the tutorial, and my head was spinning. After the tutorial, my head, it's like I will never, it was the basketball game. I will never, ever remember all that. I will never remember to hit X, hold L1, and stand on one leg to throw a lob. Okay. But if I want to throw a lob, literally, if you wanted to do a jam, you had to hold the trigger, push towards the basket. Except if you were coming in from the side, then you push toward the sideline. If you want to throw a layup from underneath the basket, you click the button instead of pushing left, but you push right. Forget it. It's way too. I haven't gone back to the basketball game because I was so intimidated.
Man, you know what? I consider myself like a hardcore gamer. Those sports games are so intimidating.
Yeah, they are.
I tried the Madden. I play Madden a lot. I tried to play the Madden tutorial, and it's just, so you hit the button to hike, and then you look for the pass, and you just hit the corresponding button. But in the tutorial, if you push the stick right or left, it leads the guy, or throws it low, or throws it high, or throws it left. It's like I tried. I couldn't do it. All I could do is hit the button of the guy I want to throw it to, but I couldn't aim it. I failed miserably the Madden tutorial. It was want you to do too much. It's like because you're moving the quarterback around, but when you throw it, it's the same thumbstick as you were moving with. So if you're moving left with the quarterback and you throw it, you're automatically throwing left, unless you what? Stop moving the quarterback, hit the pass button, and then move the thumbstick left for the pass. Well, if you stop running, you're going to get sacked.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't figure out how they want you to throw the pass to the left if you're running to the right, or to the right if you're running to the left without letting go of the thumbstick.
Right.
That's always my problem with the FIFA soccer there, FIFA, whatever. I couldn't figure out how to kick the damn ball at the net. Everything went into the crowd, no matter where I moved the thumbstick. Except when I tried to move it down, and then my guy kicked it down toward the sideline. It's like, seriously. So when, and they didn't give you a good enough tutorial on like when do you press the button after you press the kick button? When do you aim the shot? Because if you aim it too late, you got no control. If you aim it too early, now your guy turns around and starts going the other way.
Right.
So I
could hear it.
Yeah.
It is. I'm oozing with frustration. But that's why Diablo 3 is so great. Diablo 3 is so nice. I actually went back and played some Call of Duty Black Ops 2 on Xbox 360 with some friends, just some of the combat training. That was fun too.
Mm-hmm.
So I did a lot with that. Have you guys played Knack?
No.
Oh, I finished Knack.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
I think it's a platform. I guess it's a platform. It's a lot of jumping and double jumping and punching.
I'd say like action platformer. It looks a lot like Ratchet and Clank.
It's a lot like Legos. I didn't play Ratchet and Clank. It's a lot like the Lego games, which I played a little bit of too, which is the new Lego game on PS4 is ridiculously complicated.
Of course it is.
We had a 6-year-old kid come over the house. He was fine with it, but I couldn't figure it out. That's how complicated it is. You got to switch between characters. It's like you come up on something. It's like, how do I get this to do? Oh, you need the other character. Okay, let me go get the other character. Now I need the other character. Okay, yeah. Oh, I'm supposed to build something now. How the hell is I supposed to know to build something? It's not like the old Star Wars Legos where you just smash stuff and have some fun.
Right.
It was pretty in depth, this one here. So anyway, but Knack is you're a little character running around, and you're supposed to go fight the goblins.
Mm-hmm.
And you're made of these relics, and the relics are found all over the different missions you go on, and you start getting bigger and bigger and bigger with these relics. And it's really kind of neat. Mm-hmm. And eventually you get wood, and you become part wood, and you start burning. And so you have to finish the mission before the wood burns, and then sometimes you're ice, and you go outside, and you got to finish the mission before the ice melts. It's kind of neat. It's a little bit of everything, a lot of jumping. The jumping did get frustrating. Like I don't like platformer games because you jump all the way to the top, and then you go to jump left to right, but there's also the the Z-axis. You think you're jumping right, but you're actually pushing up and you miss something and you fall all the way down and you got to go all the way up the top again.
Right.
It happened several times. In fact, that the wife was just, oh man, you should have heard her swearing like a truck driver playing this game. It's hilarious. I'd be downstairs with Battlefield going, you mother effer tits, I'm behind the wall. How can you shoot me? She's like, I think you need to stop playing that game. And then I hear her upstairs with Nick. I jumped on that. Maybe you need to stop playing that game.
It's the universal language.
So we're both upstairs. We both sounded like Nick, playing our games. But it did have the frustrating moments. Like, okay, you're going to make me do this all over again because you said I missed the jump. I was like, come on. But it was fun. You had your secret rooms, and you found little relics, and you could build little gadgets to help you through the game if you got enough pieces. And what was really neat is when you find these rooms, you break a wall and you get on a little ramp into this room, and there's a chest, and you get what's in the chest. If you have friends on your friends list that played this game, you have access to their gadget pots.
Oh, nice.
Which was neat. So it comes up. So let's just say, so one of the things that I assembled right away was to identify when you're near a secret room. Okay, a little think of it. You need 7 pieces for that. So you find the first secret room, and it comes up and says you have a part to a gadget, and it tells you what the part is. But you can scroll down through your friends list and select parts that they found. Now, you don't take it from them, but you have access to it. So it was kind of neat. So all of my friends had the gadget thing, so I ended up assembling that first through them, which was kind of neat. So the friends list does come into play when you find the special gadgets. So that's what you do. You find secret rooms, you smash stuff, you have a couple of superpowers, and you jump around, and it's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous game, and you get big enough. It's almost like you're a mech. It's kind of fun. You just run and stuff. But it's a platformer game. It's long. Oh my gosh, is this game long?
Right.
It's got 13 chapters, and the chapters are pretty long. Yeah, and so, and when you have to finish the game before you can go back and play certain chapters. That's what kind of sucked, is that we get to chapter 10. It's like, man, I'd like to go back and play a different chapter. Well, you can't. You gotta plug through the game and finish it. But I found some certain crystals that made me play what's called Vampire Knack. Like there's 4 or 5 different knacks you can play. Knack is the name of the character you play. Mm-hmm. And Vampire Knack, everything you kill, you absorb health from, but you bleed out health the entire time. So you constantly destroy things. So you basically suck the life out of everything you destroyed to keep yourself going, and you're red. It's kind of cool. So I'm Vampire Knack. But I needed 20 pieces. I needed to find 20 pieces, and I found the 20 pieces for that. But Knack was fun. Long game. Boss battles can be frustrating like in any other game. But it was fun. And it was kind of a kid's game, but it kind of wasn't. But it reminded me of the Lego games.
Cool.
And you didn't really assemble anything, though. You just smashed stuff.
And
but the story was good.
And Nick played a game last night that I have not heard of, but you were so pissed off about this game.
Well,
you talked to me in detail.
Before I get into that, I want to say that it was one of the other good things about playing Diablo 3 is that it got me back into the 360, where I played a whole bunch of GTA. And I just kind of started doing the story missions, like not getting distracted by side stuff at all. Just kind of going from story to story to story. And that's a really cool game. It reminded me of how much I liked that game. And just the characters and the story. And
did you finish the whole story?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm definitely close, though.
Okay.
Crazy stuff has gone down.
All right.
Did you finish it?
No.
Okay.
No.
I want to finish that, and then I want to be able... That way I can kind of embrace Assassin's Creed on PS4.
Mm-hmm.
But okay. So the game I played on PC is this game called Knock Knock. And it's kind of this indie horror game by this Russian developer called Ice Pick Lodge. And like the thing about Russian developers, like if you play Stalker or Metro 2033, is like they're kind of good at making horror games because they're so dark and depressing and kind of nihilistic, you know? Russian games are just real, like, dark, but also kind of reserved, and they accept, this life sucks, but what are you gonna do? So it kind of makes sense. Okay, you make an indie horror game. This seems like it could be cool. And the premise of it is that you're basically playing hide and seek from these ghosts that are coming into your house. And the house on each night is kind of randomly generated. So it's but it's not like a roguelike where you die and start from the beginning every time. So you go through this house, and your job is basically to just survive until dawn. So you can just kind of wait and try to just wait out the ghosts. But if the ghost touches you, that sets your time back several hours. And so if a ghost touches you and you run out of time, you have to start that level over again. But if you explore the house, you can find these statues that increase time and make time go faster. So it's that kind of balance between if you see a ghost, you hide from it and it passes you, and then you pop out, look for these statues, and all that jazz. And for the first half of the game, it's pretty easy, and it kind of works pretty well because it's easy, because the mechanics never really get pushed very hard. But in the second half, it just all goes to hell so bad. Where you'll be at a ladder, and it's like, okay, I'm going to go up a ladder and go up to the next floor, and all of a sudden a ghost will spawn on you. So often, when it gets harder, when it starts spawning in more ghosts, the whole hide and seek mechanic completely falls apart, because it's not about hiding. It's all just about dumb luck, because ghosts will spawn on you and hit you and take away your time, and you can't do anything about it. Or you'll be...
That is the worst, isn't it?
Yes.
Knack did that too. You would come in and something would just shoot you right away. You would jump down into a pit, let's say, and it was a cutscene, and the cutscene had you jumping into this pit, and it was like, okay, I'm in the pit, bam, I got shot. And no matter what you did and how many times you did it, they got the first shot. It was like a spawn kill. You're like, oh,
yeah,
it's the worst.
It's so bad, and that happens so often. It's like, you know what? This isn't about hiding and seeking. The core mechanic that you built your game around is broken. And it gets even worse from there, where, at the halfway point, the game introduces this timer. It's like a sanity timer. And if you don't reach the end of the game before that timer runs out, you get a game over.
Oh.
Except if the timer runs out, it doesn't automatically give you a game over. You get to keep playing until you get to the end, where then when you walk out the door, you're just immediately hit with a game over screen. No explanation, just game over. It's like, what the fuck?
It's like your parents telling you, when you get home, you're getting your ass beat. But right now, let's go to Disney World and have some rides.
Exactly.
And you're having fun on the rides. Then you go home, hey, get your ass beat.
Yeah.
No, beat my ass now.
But then
we're going to execute you, but first a lobster dinner and a show.
Yeah. Well, except there's no lobster dinner, because you have to keep playing the game when it's really hard and broken. So it's more like, I don't know.
We're going to fire you, but you're going to work a full day.
Yeah. It's just a lobster shell. You see the leftover of the lobster meat. And here you go. Here's your dinner. It's like, what? Someone already ate this. You want me to eat the shell? Yes.
You need to eat the shell. You need to eat the shell to go on. No, try it. It's good. It's great. No, good. Oh, awesome. And now we're going to execute you.
Yeah. And now what I was telling Edie, what made me really, really hate this game, more than it deserves, because it's not necessarily a bad game. It's just a really mediocre game.
This is what made you mad. This is where I came in on it, and I just thought this was hilarious.
Yeah. It's a completely average, middle of the road, not exceptional in any way game. But I hate it, despise it way more than it deserves, because at the beginning, before you even start, get to the main menu, there's this kind of notice that pops up. And at first I thought, oh, this is kind of clever because it's kind of like a found footage video game where the developers give you this message that says, what you're about to play is not a game. It's more of an interactive meditation based on requirements that were sent to us by some mysterious person. So any odd encounters that you have in the game are likely the result of the rules that we had to follow when making this. Now, this could all be just an elaborate hoax, but we don't think so. And at first I was like, okay, kind of a found footage game, that's neat. But when I was playing it, and when I finally realized, you know what, this game is just kind of broken and not very good, I started over to try to, like, figure out what made me not like it more. And when I saw that, it just pissed me off again because I felt like the developers are trying to preempt any negative criticism of the game by playing the art card. By saying, look, our game is not really a game. It's an interactive meditation, man. And so if you don't like it, that's just because you don't get it. And that just makes me want to punch them because it's like, I like art games. I played games that I would describe as art games. Sure. As like, you know, games that are interesting with something to say in indie games.
Dear Esther, and what's that other one that was the crazy one about walking on the beach and that was just...
Yeah, that
right, Latet or something like that.
I don't know if I'd defend that one, but...
Bientôt
Like, I like a good art game, but this was like... I feel like they were abusing the system by like they knew they made a mediocre game and they tried to pass it off as something revolutionary by saying, no, this isn't a mediocre game. This is an interactive meditation. I'm like, no, motherfucker, you made a bad game.
You know, maybe that's what we should call our podcasts from now on, is not podcasts, but interactive meditations. That way we could just be completely awful and no one will blame us. It's not our fault. You just don't get it. You don't appreciate the art of it.
And so, yesterday, like right before Edie, I joined your party, I was playing through it again. And I was playing through the first half. And again, the first half, it's pretty easy. And I was like, you know what? This isn't that bad. Like, this is kind of interesting. And, like, yeah, it's kind of interesting. But then I reached, like, the one level where kind of the difficulty increases and the timer starts.
And it all went off the rails.
I played it, like, 3 times in a row. And each time I'm sitting there, enemy spawns on me, resets my time. I have to start the level over again. And I'm like, motherfucking son of a bitch. This is not about hiding and seek. This is just about dumb luck. Passing the levels is all just a matter of dumb luck of not having something spawn on you. And after the 3rd time, I was like, God, that's it. Screw it. I'm out. I'm playing Warframe.
Now, was it the point when you were in the patented... trademarked Nick DiNicola obscenity-laden tirades, which are awesome. Total gold.
Yes.
I live for those. By the way, did you see the text that I sent you, the photo?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. Actually, we're at that point. We got 15 minutes. Let's hit the news. You want to do that?
Sure.
Okay, let's hit the news. This is the GameHounds news, the news, views, and commentary of the week in gaming with Gamer Edie, Holy Goalie, and Nick DiNicola. And our first item is...
Well, I guess the big one that I think, PlayStation Now.
Yeah. That's the big one for
man.
everybody.
I'm excited about that. Was one of the reasons I went to the PS4 is to possibly play some PS3 games.
Mm-hmm.
And
it seems like they actually have a plan for backwards compatibility. Even if it's not backwards compatibility, and even if it's
a back door.
Even if it's like, hey, you're going to have to rebuy all these games again, at least they kind of have a plan.
Right.
But well, just to be fair, though, okay? if you have the game on PS3, okay, let's just say The Last of Us. If you have it on PS3, you don't have to buy it again because you have it. You can play it on the PS3.
Yeah.
I think the audience they're going for is me. Okay, the people who didn't have PS3 that would like to play some of these PS3 games on my PS4. I'm not about to go buy
You've never played a Metal Gear game ever.
No.
Exactly. And now you can play your Metal Gear games.
When they come out and they were talking about the Guy Kai and the streaming a whole bit, I was like, boy, if they could stream some of these PS3 games that everybody's talking about, or the SOCOMs, or anything that's not on Xbox, that was only on PS, boy, that would just complete. It would be backwards compatible, but not really backwards. It would just mean that I have access.
It's a door. It was an open door to all of this stuff you've missed over the years because you were an Xbox person.
Exactly. So, I mean, now, if I had it on PS3, would I be like, yeah, I don't want to buy it again? That sucks. Yeah, I would be. But why would I go buy it again?
You already played it. You know what it is.
And if I still have the disc, I can still play it. It's not like I can't play it if I already bought it, unless I traded it in.
Right.
So it's not like you're saying you can't play The Last of Us anymore. Well, if you have PS3, you can play The Last of Us. But for people who didn't have it, now they have access to it. Right. So I'm excited that if PlayStation can pull this off, and for what I'm hearing now, Engadget did some reviews and they said it was beautiful.
Wow. Yeah, okay, well, let's go over just some of the details of PlayStation Now. It's going to launch in its beta by the end of the month, and it's going to be wide U.S. rollout this summer. It's going to roll out in Europe, but they have not given any details of when that rollout's going to be. The whole system is going to be powered by the Gaikai system, which is the system that Sony paid, like $380 million, $280 million for in 2012.
Paid that much?
Yeah, they paid an obscene amount of money for it. But it is a streaming service, and it's going to allow users to rent older generation games either individually or in packages. So you could get like an action adventure package, I guess, that would bundle them.
I thought there was like a subscription.
Have you read something about subscription? Because I've been reading that it's just going to be either, I shouldn't say just going to be, that you're going to have the option of individual or bundled games.
So it's probably going to be like an OnLive type of thing where they have a play pack.
Right. That's I'm sure they're using a lot of the foundations and the ideas that were set down by OnLive, just not being a crappy service, not being a crappy business model. Yay. The games are going to stream to not only your PlayStation 4 but a whole range of electronic devices. Now that's going to include your tablets. It's going to include Bravia TVs.
Yeah.
Vitas
nice.
And the PS4s, which is kind of cool. Almost a reason to get a Bravia is that you don't even have to have a PlayStation 4 to play PlayStation 3 games on your Bravia TV. It just streams straight to the TV, which is genius.
And let me tell you, streaming right to the TV is awesome. We get the Netflix on the new TV, and you get Netflix Super HD, and it blows. I put on a Blu-ray the other day, and Super HD just blew away the Blu-ray. It was
Really?
Yeah, because I have there was an older movie. It's with Johnny Depp called The Ninth Gate, one of my favorite movies. And I put it in my PlayStation, and it was okay. And I went to Vudu on my TV, and it was gorgeous. Really? Gorgeous. Except that after 20 minutes, the audio was messed up. It was really weird.
Oh, that's odd.
Yeah, I couldn't figure that out. So whatever. But yeah, I couldn't believe that the Vudu HDX streaming on my TV was better than the Blu-ray disc itself. On the PlayStation, which is weird, but whatever.
Yeah. So anyway, the first round of games that are going to come to PS Now are going to come from the PS3 catalog, which is awesome because there's a ton of PS3 games out there, and a lot of them were console specific. Last of Us, Heavy Rain, Gilly, you are going to be able to enjoy the miserable fucking awful. You will be the tiebreaker between Nick and me about fucking Heavy Rain.
It's a great game.
It's a shitty game, a fucked up game. I'm going to win this. Anyway, those are the PS3 catalog is going to come, and then followed by the PS1 catalog, and then PS2. I should say PS1 and PS2 together.
Okay, I was going to say, what PS2 after PS1? That makes no sense.
No. It's the PS1 and it's going to be followed by PS1 and PS2. not necessarily sequentially.
I'm kind of looking forward to that because I think it might be easier to stream those because they're less graphically intensive.
Right, and there's a bunch of PS2 games. I still have my PS2 hooked up because I haven't done it in years, but there are a bunch of games that are really in my heart that if actually they were available on the PS3, I probably would play them, like the original SSX or SSX Tricky. Oh, God, I loved SSX Tricky.
Oh, I loved the new one, too.
I know, you love the new one. I tried it. I hated it. But Tricky was fucking awesome. Did you ever play Tricky? Did you play Tricky? Did you play Tricky?
SSX3 was the pinnacle.
No, did you play Tricky?
Yes, I played Tricky.
How could you love anything other than that game?
Because 3 was so cool. It had a single mountain that you could board down. It took like a half hour.
But
it was awesome.
Tricky had Macy Gray as a character. It had all of these voices. There are characters on that I still use lines from that Kevin and I will use it. If you're gonna go down in flames.
God. What was that one stupid ass song that she sang that everyone loved her for? And it was so good. It was like nails on the chalkboard.
Oh, I actually like that song.
Oh, her voice is awful. She was in Spider-Man too. She ruined Spider-Man.
Okay, so eventually the PS1 or PS Play is also going to include PS4 games. That was announced yesterday. That it's going to also include the PS4 access, which is kind of nice. So essentially, this whole Gaikai-based PS Now is going to have all of Sony's catalog. Maybe not entirely, but catalog from all of Sony's consoles through the years, including the current console. Also, interestingly enough, when the announcement came out about PlayStation Now, GameStop stock dropped 10%.
Yeah, I know.
Oops.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out because if they, I don't know what they're going to charge to play these old games, but
neither do I.
But let's just say that Last of Us was they're going to charge $30. You buy it on this service.
Well, you're not buying it; you're renting it.
Yeah. That's what struck me about this. I haven't seen anything about purchasing.
Really?
Right. No, it's not buying. It's renting.
You know what? I think that's the best they could have done.
Yep.
No, well, it depends.
But the reason, I never wanted to buy anything on OnLive because I was like, I don't want to pay $60 for a game that I won't be able to play when OnLive goes under.
Right.
60, but if they're going to say, let's just say it's $5 a day to rent it, okay? And you get into a game that you play the crap out of. If you're going to play it for more than 5 or 6 days, you're better off just buying it. I like having the option of buying versus renting because at some point, if you play it a lot, it's better off just to buy it and have it. And then you own it and you don't have to worry about renting it. If I rent it 10 times, now I'm into it for $80 or something.
Right.
So as far as GameStop goes, like I say, if Last of Us, if you buy it used for $40, and they'll say, well, you can rent it for $5 a day, or you can stream it. If you can buy it and stream it, like you own it for $30, yeah, I can see how GameStop could take a hit. But it comes.
Yeah, but GameStop's also more about the current gen than they are last gen.
Right. That's true. But if Sony is intending, and it looks like as the information is kind of trickling out, that this PlayStation Now is going to be the digital distribution hub of being able to rent a modern game versus buy a modern game. That's huge. Because why would you buy at GameStop and then have to sell it back at a huge discount when you could rent it for a week? and then buy it
Well,
digitally.
But that's always existed.
And then buy it digitally. Right. Well, that's existed with GameFly. GameFly is also another one that's going to get hurt, but I haven't seen any of the GameFly shares prices.
It'll affect more than just GameStop, because if you're talking about next-gen games and current games, that's going to hurt Best Buy and Walmart and Target and Amazon, and everybody.
Right, but they're also diversified across a number of different they're not just selling games. They're diversified across the markets of electronics.
But
But
renting is always
GameStop
existed.
is GameStop. It does nothing but games. And pretty much you don't buy a game from GameStop. You rent a game from GameStop because you buy the game and then you sell it back.
No,
I
you
would
don't. I bought a ton of games from GameStop and never
never
given
sold them back. Right. But Goalie pretty much rents his game from GameStop. He buys it new and then sells it back at a discount. If he decides he doesn't like it, it's gone out of his house within a week.
Yeah, I do. But let me just say, though, that what I like about GameStop is, number one, I can walk to the one. 'Cause the closest place for me to buy games I can actually walk to.
Right.
So it's close. In fact, that snowstorm a couple years ago when my 360 died, day after Christmas.
I remember
and
that.
we were in the middle of a blizzard, and I was in the middle of playing zombies with the wife and some friends, and my Xbox crapped out. I called them up at 6 o'clock, and I said, we'll stay open for you. And I drove through the snow, skidding all over the place to get down and picked up my used, refurbished 360 Elite. That's what I'm still playing on. And then I was right back in the game. Now, Best Buy and Target and Walmart were too far away, and were probably already closed. So GameStop bailed me out on that.
Right.
And I'm still playing that. And it was used, and I just put my hard drive on, and I went to town. Number two is that they just do games. Best Buy doesn't. Amazon doesn't.
Nope.
You know, and Walmart. I ain't going to Walmart. I haven't been to Walmart in years. I'm afraid
Good
someone.
for you.
I'm afraid someone would take my picture and put it up on the people at Walmart. Go in there with my thong, you know.
Oh, please do. Please do.
But GameStop just does the games, and yes, they rape you on the trade-in. But where else can you go and trade it in?
Right.
And it's like going to the car dealership.
That's the thing, is this does give you the option, is that you're thinking of it as I'm buying a game and trading it in. If you think about the buying and trading in as one action, it's effectively renting. This is now giving you an option that you don't even have to go down to GameStop. You didn't even have to walk to GameStop.
Yeah.
It's in your house and you can rent it for a week. You can rent it for a day and decide if you want to buy it.
Yeah, which I think would be good, so at least can try it out. But I think what they're doing now, the new stuff, I'm not sure if I like the day one digital download, because I think that does affect a lot of the. I like to wait a couple weeks. Let the people that sell the physical games sell them.
Fuck them.
I do.
Fuck them.
I would say
I want my disc. I
One thing
want my disc. I like to be able to trade that in.
Don't go buy a disc, but fuck them. I don't care about the disc. I want digital download, and I don't want to have to wait a week for all you Luddites to go get your disc, and you can feel superior.
I don't want to spend $60 on a digital download because it's mine. I own it.
I agree with that.
It's
I agree that we should not be paying $60 for digital download.
I cannot bring that over someone's house and play it. Oh, well, now I can, but I mean,
Now you
still,
can.
but the download is several hours sometimes. So
Yeah.
I go over to my friend's house, say, hey, let's play this new game I got. Well, where is it? Well, you got to download it. Okay, downloading. Okay, we're at 1%.
All right, I'll grant you that.
1%. So I mean,
But I don't go to other people's houses. I don't play at other people's houses. I want,
But
on day one, I like to know that I can just pull it up and bam, it's there.
I like the option of I like the physical disc in my hand. It feels good. I rub it on my face.
Ugh, fuck physical disc. That
that's
you have
why
to
I think
get
they should
up and
always do
change
both.
the
You
disc.
can't just do one or the other. Not anymore.
No.
You have to do both.
Yes, exactly. And that's actually, this argument is a perfect example about how you really do have to have both. That there is no good reason for me to have disc, and there's every good reason in the world for Goalie to have a disc, even though I don't really see him walking out of the house and playing with other people.
Well, but I do go upstairs and put it in my
there
wife's
is that.
Xbox or PS4. We've done that. We traded back and forth. The great thing about the PS4 is that we installed NAC on her system, and I you hit the PlayStation button, you sign out, and I sign in, and I play NAC on her system under my name. That is so awesome.
Yeah.
So because she's upstairs surfing Facebook, and now I don't have to get downstairs and hide from her. I can be in the same room and still talk with her while play on my account. That is awesome.
Yeah.
So now, as far as like hard drive space filling up, like mine was filling up because I got a ton of new games and I downloaded some stuff. Now it's like, geez, I don't want to put NAC on mine and fill it up anymore. So now I play NAC on her system under my account, which is awesome. Yeah. But getting back to the games, I'm not going to spend $60 on a digital game unless I abso-freaking-lutely know I'm going to put tons of hours. Like Diablo 3 on the PS4 may be one of those games I'm going to download for $60 because I know I'm going to play the crap out of that.
But I think that's what the Gaikai is. And when you were saying buying versus renting, I think that's what PlayStation Now is. It's a rental service because they already have a purchase service. In the PlayStation Store.
But feeling it out, like I say, rental versus buying.
Right. It depends on the pricing. It all comes down to the pricing.
Yeah, OnLive had that too. It's like you can rent this game for 3 days for $5.
Right.
Okay, or you can buy it for $20,
right?
So or $17.99. Well, now I got to figure out: am I going to play this game for more than 3 days?
Rent it for $5, and if you absolutely freaking love it on rental, go over to PlayStation Store and pay $60.
Yeah, but now you're paying $65 for the game.
Yeah, true. But you're paying $65 for a game that you absolutely know you're going to love, instead of paying repeatedly $30 to $25 to $30 for games that you really hate.
I would, even if I loved it, I would still want to wait for a sale.
True. There's always sales. Actually, we're getting close to the end of the show. I want to hit one other news item at least. We got some crazy numbers from Sony today. Yesterday, Sony released its numbers from the holiday season for sales. 4.2 million PS4 sold between November 15th and December 28th. 9.7 million PS4 games sold.
Nice.
Biggest sellers were obviously the big ones: Battlefield, Call of Duty, Killzone, Assassin's Creed, all the big AAA titles. PlayStation Plus subscriptions increased more than 90%. Almost doubled the amount of PlayStation Plus subscriptions. Wow. 1.7 million gameplay broadcasts were streamed on Twitch and Ustream.
Wow.
Totaling 55 million minutes of broadcast. And the total amount of Twitch users now, 20% of them are streaming from the PS4. That's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why the service was having all sorts of problems. They really took on a load. They really did.
Yeah. Yeah. And Twitch, I mean, it just bogged everything down.
What did you stream last night? I saw you were streaming.
Don't Starve.
Oh, really? You know, I think I'm going to stream Knack this weekend.
Yeah, you should, because I would like to actually watch that. Because I'm debating on buying it. I'm not quite sure I'm going to like it, so I'd like to see what it looks like.
Why don't you watch it? It's I had a friend last night. It was like, he goes, I love it when you guys Twitch because it's almost like I get to watch the game and see a review of the game.
Right, it's like a game review, and you can ask questions as it's playing.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's why one of the reasons why I did Don't Starve, because Nick had never seen it, and he's like, "Well, I want to know, how is it working?" And I'm like, "It works awesome." And he's like, "Well, let me look at it." Yeah, so he's like, "I don't see how that's working," and I'm like, "It works better than when it was on as far as I'm concerned, on the PC." So then I said, "I'll stream it, and you can watch." Okay, I'll do that. Worked out fine. And my final item is, just in case you thought owning a web-based service was easy, Steam just got hacked late last week. Both Steam Client and the Steam Store experienced intermittent outages during that period. Suspected DDoS attack is believed to have taken place overnight, Friday night, Thursday night, Friday morning. One Twitter user going by the online handle Chuff the Cat claims to be part of a group that targeted Steam servers. This hasn't been verified, though. The outage came after a separate suspected DDoS attack on EA's PC game service, Origin, as well as outages to Blizzard's Battle.net and League of Legends online infrastructure. So essentially somebody's thinking they're having a lot of fun. We're going to fuck up all games.
I know. Huh?
Yeah, so... Anyway, if you wanted to know what happened and you have no idea what happened to the Steam sale last week, and why you couldn't buy anything, and why is Steam running so slow, and what the fuck, that's what it was. DDoS. Yeah, and that guy, that Chef the Cat, was on the on Twitter, and he was actually making fun of people, like, "How do you like your Steam sale now?" That kind of stuff. That stuff. Yeah, no, he was literally just being an ass. So
lynch him.
Yeah, there's a special place in hell for that. That's all right. Eventually, they'll grow up and their dicks will fall off. Yeah, they're going to get old, and their prostates are all going to get enlarged, and they're going to be up all night peeing, and hopefully they'll all become big, large, cancerous nodes.
This is like the kids that come to your house and they vandalize your house or your car, or they throw eggs at your house, or they do something to disrupt things. When they're 40, somebody's going to do it to them. They're going to try to log on at something when they're older, and someone's going to hack in, and they're going to be totally pissed off.
Oh, yeah. More pissed than anybody.
When it happens to you, it sucks. When you're the guy doing all the sabatage, it's hilarious. And someone disrupted, and now they're going to spend time sorting it out. But then when it happens to you, it's not so funny.
Yeah, it'll happen.
It's going to be even worse then, because they're going to be hacking into their brain computer, changing their memories, because it's going to be the future. It's going to be like all cyberpunk hacking.
Anybody else have any quick news items before I go?
I think we can carry it. I got a couple little tidbits.
We'll pull it over to the.
I got an interesting. We can talk about the new Alien.
Yes, that's what I got.
Yes. Forgot about that. That's going to be over at Happy Endings. Because we need to definitely talk about that on Happy Endings. So let's close this out. You have been listening to GameHounds, episode 244, recorded on Wednesday, January 8th, 2014. I'm Edie Sellers. With me has been Holy Goalie and Nick DiNicola. Ways to get a hold of us. First, there is our website, gamehounds.net is the website, even though it's kind of fucked up right now. Sorry, it hasn't really been updated. I'll do that, I swear. And then there's the actually really better way to get a hold of us. It's through our Facebook page, facebook.com/The GameHounds. You can also email us at gamehounds@gmail.com or send us a text or a voice message. Please do so. We would love to hear from you. Our voice and text line is
304-300-9889. And had some good conversations over the holidays in the last couple of weeks with some of the listeners and people. And so definitely use that text line, 304-300-9889. And we'll keep you up to date on anything we're doing as far as GameHounds game nights, or just saying hi, or if you've got anything for the show, send us a note.
Yep, absolutely. And of course, if you're interested in listening to us live and being part of the broadcast, you can sign up for Spreaker.com, Spreaker.com, and sign up for the Happy Endings show. That's our live after show where you can actually be part of the conversation in the chat room, and we do get even weirder than we are on the show.
And also on Twitch, the Twitch, tell them about our Twitch, because if you get notifications when we go live on Twitch.
Oh, right. There is Twitch. Twitch.com. We are under The GameHounds at Twitch. So go ahead and sign up for that and subscribe. And whenever we go live with any of our games, and once actually with our PlayStation camera, except it got creepy. But yeah, you can get notifications when we go live on PlayStation 4. All right. Goalie, Nick, see you in about a half hour.
Okay.
All right. See you ladies later. Bye.